Hey, what is up, guys? How's it going? This is Furgie here, back from A Squad Gaming, and today we're going to take yet another look at Call of Duty Black Ops 3, more specifically, once again, Zombies mode on the map Shadows of Evil. Now, I know we haven't covered a lot of the Giant yet, or any of the Giant, but we will probably be getting that in the future. I'm the only person out of all of us who actually has the map, so it's hard to do more things solo by myself, although it is possible, so we will be getting to that. But today, more specifically, we are going to be talking about the Wonder Weapon that we unlock in the game, or more so how to build it, how to find it, because it takes a little bit more work than some of the previous Wonder Weapons and a lot of the other games, actually. Basically, what it is, it's based around finding 3 special parts around the map, or based on kills, that you can eventually put together in order to build this beast of a weapon. Now, our very first piece is by far the easiest to find, is the most reliable, and you can get very, very early in the game, as early as even round 1 or 2, depending on how quickly you do your rituals in order to access the Pack-a-Punch. If you don't know how to do this, you can check out the rest of the videos on our channel in order to find out how, but basically what this step involves is simply killing a Margwa. These are the bosses that run around with the 3 heads. They're very easy to kill early on. That's why I would suggest doing this as early as possible, and they're going to drop their heart, the Margwa heart. Now, this is a 100% guaranteed drop, I believe. I have never killed a Margwa right off the bat on this map and not received the heart. That being said, I'm sure it is possible, so if anyone is aware of that, you can definitely let me know. But it is a very, very high drop rate, and no matter what Margwa you kill first, it will drop it. It doesn't matter if you wait until round 20 or you wait until round 2, really. It's not going to matter. You're going to be able to get the drop, and this is by far the easiest to obtain. Obviously, once you can manage to take down a boss, if you have more than one person, this should be an absolute breeze, but either way, this is the easiest piece to find. The other 2 are going to be a little bit more difficult, but once you pick this up, we'll be able to move on to the next 2 pieces, which might take us a little bit longer and might take you a very long time to actually locate, as long as you don't get lucky with the spawns and things like that. So, now the second piece we're going to look for is called the Margwa Tentacle, and this one can either be very easy to find, like I said, or very difficult to find. It really just depends on how lucky you get or how patient you are. Now, our very first step is finding the Fumigator, which is located all over the map. There are 2 or 3 of them depending on where they spawn and things like that, but they should be very easy to locate. There's probably even one in the starting room depending on how lucky you get with your spawns. Like I said, a lot of this map and a lot of this particular video is all about luck, but what we're going to do is we're going to find our Fumigator, and afterwards we're going to wait up until about round 10 at the minimum until these pods around the map start turning purple. You'll see these all the time. They're all over the place, and they grow and grow and grow as more rounds go on. And as the more you let them grow, the bigger they're going to get, the different colors they're going to change, and the better items they're going to drop. Once a pod is purple, we're going to go up and harvest it and hope we get the Margwa Tentacle. Now, very often I actually get this drop very early on in the game. It'll actually be one of the first purple pods I open. That pod right there was actually the very first I opened. So really you can get lucky like that, but I've had other runs where I've run all the way around the entire map, waited for every pod to get purple, and have not been able to find this tentacle. So if you get unlucky like that, I'm sorry. You want to refresh your run, I guess, if you're really that dedicated in the Wonder Weapon. If not, there are plenty of other nice weapons for you to use, but if you get lucky with the spawn of the tentacle, you'll be able to move on pretty quickly to the final piece, which is a little bit easier to obtain, and it's definitely more so possible than this one, and you can't get absolutely screwed with it if you can't find it, but keep an eye out for those pods. Now, our final piece to build this Wonder Weapon is called Xenomatter, and this can only drop from 2 different kinds of enemies in the game. However, it is guaranteed, and the latest I've actually gotten it is right here in this run on round 18. I've actually always gotten it earlier than that, and it just kind of depends on, like I said, like a lot of other things, how lucky you are and when the drop happens to drop. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait until we have the Pack-a-Punch open, or we get an inner calorie kind of round where you can get the max ammo at the end with just the flyers or the meatballs, and then we're going to kill as many as we can. Now, both the flyers and the meatballs can drop meatballs. I don't know what they're actually called, but they can drop the Xenomatter, and they're these little green balls that look like little Stimtex grenades, but they do drop fairly often. Actually, you can get them pretty early on. The latest I've got them, like I said, is 18. The earliest is probably about 15, but it does depend on when you open the Pack-a-Punch, because you will get more and more of them over time as the rounds go on. Now, once we have all 3 of these parts, the Margwa Heart, the Margwa Tentacle, and the Xenomatter, we're going to head into any one of the build stations on any part of the map. There are 3 of them, and they're in the 3 separate districts. Of course, you're going to have to buy the second door in the area in order to get to these build spots, but if you're at this point in the game, if you're at this high of a round in order to get all the pieces and things like that, I wouldn't imagine you wouldn't have enough to open them, or you wouldn't have them open already. So, that being said, we're going to take them. We're going to build our Nar Ullaqua, or something like that. Honestly, I don't know how really we pronounce this word, but we call it the Wonder Weapon because that's what everyone knows it as, and that's really how it performs. Obviously, that's some kind of strange alien name. It's actually called the Apothican Servant when you build it, and you can check your inventory in the game, but otherwise, it's got a very strange language kind of name that you can pronounce as you will. I really won't hate on you for it. But what this weapon does is it's kind of like a mixture between the Thunder Gun and the Wonder Weapon from, I believe it was either Ascension or another map that kind of shot out huge black holes, and this is kind of both of those guns combined on steroids. Like I said, you cannot pack a punch it, and it does not have a lot of ammo. However, you really only need one shot depending on how many times you run around with your trains and things like that. This is a very good weapon to use once you've set up later in the game, and all you need to do is run your trains for a few minutes, let it out. It's going to suck in every single zombie in the area in actually a gigantic radius and kill them all, and that's really what makes this so easy. It can save you in so many situations if you whip it out, especially if you're running around the map. Maybe you went down, you're trying to recover, get your perks. As long as you have this gun out, you can shoot it in times of complete desperation and really save your ass, and that's really one of the best ways to use this weapon in the game. Of course, it's great if you haven't screwed up yet, either to save your teammates, save yourself, get lots of kills down below, or just get to a really high round. But ultimately, the best thing it's going to do for you is save you in really tight spots. Alright guys, so I really do want to thank you all for watching. For those of you who have already found the weapon, I hope you're getting to very high rounds with it. And for those of you who haven't built it yet and you just found out, I hope you get to that point and you're able to get to very high rounds yourselves and have a lot of good runs. Otherwise, again, I want to thank you all for watching. Hope this was an informative video. Be looking out for a lot more Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies along with many other game videos coming up in the near future. And we will see you all next time back at A Squad.